Harley Davidson in the museum, Brits. Nobody's here, which is really, really weird. And I thought everyone would be in their Christmas outfits. It turns out I'm the only one. For this Harley Davidson, but this is, well, over 100 years old. So it's the oldest Harley Davidson dealership in Europe. Correct.
And there's Jerry and Fiddlesworth, the fire.
Anyway, tomorrow I'm going to London to Warr's Harley Davidson. And if you don't know what it is, I'm going to tell you. It's the oldest Harley Davidson dealership in Europe. It is. I haven't been to Warr's, this one. I'm so tired. I haven't
Hey, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Anyway, tomorrow I'm going to Warr's. I forgot to bring any other blue. This is the weather today. It's rain. You know what I'm doing? I'm going to Warr's.
You just asked me to ask. I think I'm what you're doing tomorrow.
What would Father Christmas wear? Father Christmas would wear these, wouldn't he? Or thigh boots. Did you sort of like thigh boots, these types?
I mean, finding a dealership that's been as old as us, realistically, you don't tend to see that unless you're kind of in the States. I mean, they have a few older dealerships than us.
They can't believe it when I'm over there, and then I say about here, they can't believe it. Most Americans don't actually think that we have Harleys.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But then when I say that, you know, this one's over 100 years old. And windiness, if you can see it properly on this. Doesn't look very glorious. Right in central London. Started up by Fred Warr?
Captain James Warr, yeah, so we're on the third generation of the family.
So the first one then, James Warr, in 1924 or something, did he start a franchise? And did he have a franchise with Harley?
No, so not necessarily. So he started off as an independent dealer.
Okay.
So he was bringing Harleys over from the States and kind of selling them and restoring them independently before it was kind of a franchise. And then it was established as a Harley dealer a little bit later on as the only Harley dealer in the UK. There was no one else at that time.
Yeah. I know is that in Harley good? Did you?
And you know, and this dealership has survived through world wars, and you know, even during World War II, they were still operating and still facilitating as a Harley.
And still selling bikes.
Yeah. So
I'm going to tell you what was happening in Great Britain in 1924. Ramsay MacDonald became the Prime Minister. So we used, the English forces used Harleys, didn't we, on the battlefield?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. I think it was one of the main bikes which was used out there.
Margaret Bonfield became the first woman ever to become a government minister. Well done.
And you know, and they carried on selling them all the way through. We didn't really get another Harley dealer, I believe, until the sort of 70s is when we started to see other Harley dealers coming through the UK.
The Met Office issued its first shipping forecast.
More franchises open. So really, you know, between the sort of 50s and 70s, we were kind of the only independent Harley dealer in the country, really.
So the BBC put out its first adult play. Not adult as in, way, adult as in not children's.
Always been predominantly Harley Davidsons. I don't think we've never really sold anything else other than Harleys.
So now, so it was independent, now it's franchise.
We're a franchise dealer, yeah.
And then, so the James Warr, then his son, and then grandson, or sons or something.
That's it. So the original founder, so Captain Frederick James Warr, he was the great-grandfather of the current owners.
Okay.
So
the Royal Navy commissioned its first aircraft carrier.
It obviously went on to his son, which was Fred Warr, and now it's run by John Warr. And it just keeps on going. It'd be great to see another 100 years of wars. It's a landmark. We celebrated 100 years this year, so that was very special.
Notebooks with spiral bindings were invented.
In a way, quite fortunate that we're sort of a big tourist attraction. So we get people from all over the world coming in specifically to buy the T-shirts that've got, the wars, the Europe's oldest London.
What, do you sell more T-shirts than Rosewood?
Well,
I hope we don't make more money on the T-shirts.
I don't think we do, but I tell you what, it's almost up there. I mean, the huge attraction worldwide, kind of like what you said earlier about, you travel around the world and you go to these dealers and get a T-shirt.
Yeah. I buy them from wherever I go. This one is Arizona.
And we get the exact same attraction here, and being a London-based dealer and being Europe's oldest. I mean, that's a huge perk.
Yeah.
But
the T-shirts, I thought those T-shirts looked a bit sort of Yorkshire ribbery.
In a way, I guess it's probably a good thing. It's probably, it kind of gives us our own personality, I would say, And the good thing is about, when you go around the world and you collect all these dealer t-shirts, they're all different.
Yeah.
So the chances of having two dealer t-shirts that look the same is very, very small.
Yeah. Death Valley. It's a really good one. The other side. Manchester. Where do you reckon that one is? What about the bikes then? What's your best-selling Harley here?
Do you know what? It changes all the time. This year, the big touring bikes are really well. So,
and that's
they're like car on two wheels. They've got everything you can think of.
Yeah.
They're super comfortable.
They're quite cumbersome. So for me, when you want to do filtering and stuff like that, they're a bit sort of cumbersome. But I like the idea, and the fairing up front as well. I like to cut down the rim and stuff.
It's very helpful for people who do long trips.
And they are really comfortable.
Oh, mega comfortable. I mean, literally, they've got everything from heated grips to Apple CarPlay to just absolutely everything you think you would need on a motorcycle. And although they are big, you'd be surprised once you actually set off and you're riding, the weight completely disappears. You never feel like you're riding a big bike, to be honest. Whereas
over the sea, in America, land of Harley Davidson, they only had, gee, it's great to be in that 50th state. They only had 48 states then, and $1 then was worth $18 now. Imagine that. And gas, or petrol, cost 18 to 25 cents a gallon. That would be exciting. All the prices back then would be exciting as well, wouldn't they? And what about, so you sell second-hand ones? Do you sell second-hand and new?
Yeah, so we do both, yeah.
So, what year was this one then?
This is 1968.
1968.
The line, yep.
We're very fortunate that we've got mechanics here who can literally work on anything.
Yeah.
So to give you an idea, we've currently got a 1957 Sportster for sale.
Okay.
We've previously sold a 1929 JD.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we literally sell everything.
Do those ones go for more, because of historical value, do they go for more than
I mean,
ones?
The good thing about them is because they come from us, in a way, they're always very clean.
Yeah.
They're not, we're not selling bitzers. We've got big time, no bitzers.
Yeah.
They're all pristine. They've all come with history, they all get checked over, so people who are buying those, they're more of a collective bike.
Yeah.
So people who are buying those are mainly collecting them, or they're keeping them as ornaments, and they might ride them once in a while.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a different client base for sure for that sort of stuff.
So, I'd have this one, actually. You can have that one.
You've got the gun on, this one's got no gun.
Yeah. I actually use all my sprays. That's a really funny thing, isn't it? So what? Do you think that seats have been getting wider and wider to get people getting fatter and fatter?
Get bigger.
Yeah.
Well, typically American troops are better paid and better fed than British troops.
And obviously bigger bottoms. And then the building, because it's London, where property prices are insanely expensive, but he must have bought this.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so the land is owned. Originally, it was a much smaller shop on the adjacent road.
Okay.
So we had a much smaller corner shop.
Yeah.
And then in the sort of late 90s is when this was built. The workshop was always here, but that building that we were just in, that was purposely built in the sort of late 90s, and then it all kind of moved into here.
Yeah.
Popularity.
And do you sell more new or second hand from here?
I'd probably say at the moment we're doing more used than new. I think, you know, traditionally Harleys have changed quite a lot.
Yeah.
And in the past, you know, you look at the generation of different Harley Davidson bikes, and they've gone through so many different trends.
Yeah.
And I think those trends are coming back, and people are kind of still a bit more attractive to, you know, the slightly older, for example, the older Sportsters. They were always our most iconic bike that we did.
Yeah.
They were very... Yeah, Fat Boy's one of our best-selling bikes this year, actually.
Is it?
Enough. Yeah, we've done really, really well with Fat Boys this year. And obviously we got the new bikes coming in January, late January, so we'll see, you know, what comes out for next year. And the beauty of working for a family-owned business, it's not just about the bikes, it's so much more.
I bet they've got some brilliant, you know, when you sort of go into people's barns or sheds or something like that, you see all these great things. I bet they've got some great stuff out there around.
And they're very passionate, which I think is very important in a business like this. You know, they're passionate about the bikes, they're passionate about the brands.
And all the family rides as
Pretty
well.
much. Yeah. So they all grew up with it, they've worked here their entire life, and that's the other thing, is they work amongst us.
Yeah.
You know, which is really nice. You know, you feel part of the family-owned business.
Yeah.
I've been here 10 years. And you definitely feel like you're part of something bigger than just selling bikes. You know, everyone that works here is very passionate about what they do, which is, you know, it's very important, especially this day and age.
It's Bruno. Oh no, I can't say that name. I'm really bad at saying my R. Bruno.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
This is Bruno, who works at Warr's Harley Davidson. But you
So we do a lot of bespoke bikes through here.
with the customization. Is it your because you know people say that they're making a custom bike or something, but then they're buying all the stuff from eBay or something, which is coming from China. So really, I always think, well, it's all the sort of same. But with your custom stuff, are you designing that here and it's going to be specific for you here, or are you just buying? What do you mean?
A bit of both, so that's a good question. So we started Kings Road Customs in the early 2000s, okay? So when we first started, you didn't have any of those kits, so everything had to be made. You couldn't just buy custom built fenders and stuff. As years gone on, obviously customs world in Harley Davidson became a lot bigger. So there's a lot of companies out there, reputable companies, who make these kits, which made life a lot easier. With us, it's a bit of both. There's a lot of times, so I've got a custom bike at the moment in fabrication because it needs brackets being done for something that the customer wants on the bike. We still do a lot of custom exhausts where they're all hand built, welded and everything else.
Instead of sort of fiberglass or...
Well, it's all...
You could make one.
But all of that is just keeping it cheap. Maximum effort for the wall, metal, even trucks. Even trucks would have canvas body parts around the cab.
Really? I wonder if it's strengthened with anything then, or just... But I really like that. I really like the idea of making some sort of fairing out of black canvas for my bag.
Actually, I picture you something more like a velvet, a rich velvet.
maybe I should do that. But it is lovely. But I just like this whole sort of, I don't know, this one. But it is, I do like the ride-offs and with Harley. You've got the people who are insanely passionate about it, and then the people who really hate them, don't they? They hate the whole sort of, what I think is the really, I mean, I think, you know, most people think they are really cool. Yeah. They are. But I think Mark is something like that. But do you know Mark? Would you say that structurally and mechanically, do you think they've lost any of that sort of mechanical excellence, or do you think they're getting better made, or?
I always say to people, I think right now we've definitely got some of the best bikes we've ever had, especially in terms of reliability.
Yeah.
Bikes are kind of, I always say to people, bikes, like cars, they are what you make of it. So I've got a bike in there that's from 1912 that works, runs, we ride it every year.
But are you going to have one of your new adventure, 2024 or 2025, are they going to last 100 years then?
I would say so. I mean, I've got customers with like brand new Softails who have reached 100,000 miles and the bikes are still going.
Yeah.
They ride them every single day. A lot of reliability stuff comes down to how you keep on top of it. You know, maintenance is the most important thing with any vehicle.
That's your last question. Electric. Do you have electric ones then?
We used to. Yeah, we used to have, so we did a bike.
They can't be popular though, Harley Electrics.
So we did really well with them. Obviously we're in London, we're in central London, so we were kind of like their flagship store. It was great for us because of our location. I had one for 8 months. Personally, I really liked it. I think as a concept, it was silent. I mean, it had a little bit of a whiz noise, but it was pretty quiet.
See, that's something, because I always say that, it's like the bike I ride, I call it the Chinook, because it's and I always think, you know, with a motorbike, you don't have any other armour. It's not like a car, you haven't got 4 wheels and a roof and everything. All you've got is that noise as your armour, isn't it? So, and even if I'm driving and I can hear a bike coming up, I'm aware of it and I'll be, you know, careful and everything else. But when they're silent, I always think it's so much more dangerous for a motorbike to be silent, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. I mean, one thing I would say when I had the Livewire, I think as a biker, you become a lot more aware.
Yeah.
You know, you do. I mean, your senses are just so much more aware of everything around you.
Yeah.
And you become a lot more attentive. But yeah, I guess.
Or anxious.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so a little bit. I mean, the one thing, in a way, you're not distracted by the sound of the bike. You know, I guess that's one thing. But I do take that on board.
Yeah, for me, that sort of sound is, it's like you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's almost like you're breathing or you're being.
Especially in this brand, you know, for a lot of people, the sound is what makes it. You know, for a lot of people, you know, they buy a Harley because of how it sounds.
Yeah,
so
they do. And they love that. And
100%. So when we went electric and we launched our electric bike, it was definitely very bold. It did really well. It's still going on, but it's a separate company now, so now it's just called Livewire. It's still Harley Davidson. It's not called Harley Davidson, it's just called Livewire.
Because of that, I wonder, because of the politics of the sound and the...
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. I think it could be the other.
I think that's a good decision though.
Oh, 100%. I think to have their own kind of electric subdivision of the brand, I think was smart.
Isn't going to be the normally that sort of environmentally minded
100%.
Electric bike rider or you know fanatic or something.
But I think for the brand, I think Harley were the first major motorcycle brand to release a fully electric motorcycle. So that was quite bold, and it kind of showed everyone that we are still with the times. You know, we're still advancing in technology.
Thanks, Bruno.
My pleasure. It was my pleasure. It was good to speak to you.
That was really good.
We're not drunk.
Maybe
But the music is very, very... It's not actually at the moment. The music's been really bouncy.
Yeah, and the waiters have been bouncing too. And you've got low battery, babe. Babe, low battery.
Mate, you have to speak up.
What are you doing tomorrow?
He said, what am I doing tomorrow? Mine's green.
Mine was the neon coloured ones.
No, yours were mojito and
Yeah,
pina
and yours are the
colada.
boring coloured ones.
No, mine was a delicate one.
Actually, mine are 8%. What are yours? Wait, let's see. 8.
6.5.
No, I asked you.
Are you going to come with me though? Seriously?
Well, that's chicken ball, you reject. You would eat That's where it belongs. Wait, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Look, he thinks his slide is pretty. He thinks his slide is... Stand up and show the humans.
The fact that you're saying the word slide first.
They don't slide, they flop and plop and squeak. This is what happens in the mornings as well. I'm always... And Bertie's always... Right. And then I drove home and my car broke down for good.